Hey there, Jamie here. Welcome to your 45-minute vinyasa flow targeting the lower body. You'll notice that I use a yoga block as a prop for one particular posture in our sequence today, but I highly recommend it as just a general asset for any time that you practice yoga. If you don't have one, that's totally okay. You can just grab a water bottle or something of similar height. Stick it at the top of your mat for today, and let's get started. See you on the mat. Are you gonna give it to me? We'll begin in a comfortable seat in the middle of your mat. Maybe you'd like to sit up on a cushion to create some space for your hips. Feel free to grab one now. Otherwise, just make sure your sit bones are grounded into the earth so you can sit up nice and tall. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. You can rest your hands in your lap or on your knees. And just close down your eyes or keep a soft gaze at the mat in front of you. And just start to tune into your breath. Just noticing its natural rhythm. Noticing the rise and fall of your chest. Noticing the connection of your lower body to the earth. If you're having trouble connecting to your body, maybe place one hand on your belly and one hand on your heart space. And then notice how your hands move subtly when you breathe in and out. Take a big breath in through your nose. Fill up all the way from the bottom of your lungs to the top. Open your mouth, sigh it out. Take another breath just like that. And then you can release your hands away from your body. Just returning to your natural breath and notice any shifts in how your breath now feels. And then begin to flutter your eyes open. We'll just start with a gentle neck stretch. So bring your left hand to the right side of your head. Your right hand comes out to the earth beside you, and just gently guide your left ear towards your left shoulder. Breathing slowly and steadily. And then release your left hand from your head. We'll just go straight to the other side. So your right hand comes to the left side of your head. Guide your ear towards your shoulder. Your left fingertips are on the earth. Take a big breath in. And then release your right hand to the earth. Start to take some rolls forward and back in your shoulders. Just make sure you go both directions. Just releasing any tension you might have. And then now just make sure that your right shin is in front of your left in your cross-legged pose. Just adjust to bring it there if it wasn't. And then inhale, reach both arms up overhead and bend into your left elbow, reaching for your elbow with your right hand, just gently pulling into a tricep stretch. And then take a bend over to the right. Release your right hand to the earth. And then release your left arm up overhead for a side bend. Maybe take your gaze up past your left elbow. Keep your left sit bone grounded as you rise, and then reach for your right big toe with your right peace fingers. Send the sole of your right foot forward, just lengthening through that right leg, but you can have a bend in the knee and maybe start to bend and lengthen, just gently opening up that hamstring. And then your left hand finds the outside of your right foot. Your right hand comes behind you. Take a twist. Your torso is twisting towards the right. Maybe take your gaze over your right shoulder. Release your twist, release your foot, and we'll go to the other side. So make sure your left shin is in front of your right. And then inhale, reach up and over. Exhale, tricep stretch on the right side. Pull your head back into your forearm. And then take a bend to the left. Release your left fingertips to the earth. Release your right arm up and over. Maybe bend a little deeper. Keep pulling your right sit bone towards the earth. Breathe into your right side body. And then rise up, bringing both arms with you. Your left fingers reach for your left big toe. Send the sole of your foot forward. Have your right hand behind you. Press into the floor so you're sitting up nice and tall. And then bend and lengthen through that left leg. Take your right hand, reach for the outside of your left foot, and take your twist. Your left fingertips find the floor behind you. Again, press the floor away so you're sitting up nice and tall in your twist. And then release. So roll over your shins. We're coming into a tabletop pose. You can find some additional movement here, maybe a cat and cow, maybe you just sit in stillness for a breath. Find your wrist underneath your shoulders, tuck your toes, hover your knees, and then send your hips back to your first downward facing dog. Find some intentional movement here. So maybe bend through the knees, maybe sway your hips side to side. And then find your stillness. Press your belly back towards your thighs. And then inhale, walk your hands back towards your feet. Bring your feet a little bit wider than hip width distance in this fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, bend your knees a lot, coming into ragdoll. Your goal is to get your belly on your thighs and release all tension from your upper body. So shake your head yes and no. Make sure there's no tension in your neck. You can catch opposite elbows or sway side to side. And then release your hands to the mat. Bring your feet back to hip width distance and walk your hands back out to downward facing dog. Inhale, rise to the balls of your feet, shift forward, high plank. Exhale, bend your knees, press your hips back, downward facing dog. We'll do that a couple of times. Roll forward, bring your shoulders over your wrists, and then bend your knees, send your hips back, down dog. Last time, roll forward to your high plank, and exhale, send your hips back, downward facing dog. This time, roll forward to your high plank and hold. Press the floor away. Bring your hips in line with your shoulders. And then lower your knees, your chin and your chest. Keep your hips high. Lower your hips, baby cobra, as you inhale. Exhale, release your forehead to the mat. Press yourself back through a tabletop. Tuck your toes and send your hips back to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg high behind you. As you exhale, bend your knee, yawn your hip open. Take any movement that feels good here. So maybe circle through your ankle. Maybe you take your knee one way and then the other. Inhale, re-lengthen that leg behind you. And then exhale, step your right foot forward in between your hands. Lower your left knee to the mat. Untuck your toes. Inhale, reach both arms up overhead. Low lunge. Tuck your tailbone towards the earth and relax your shoulders away from your ears. On your next exhale, twist. Take your right arm towards the back of your mat. Your left arm reaches forward. And then inhale, sweep your left palm back. Your right hand either finds your low back, the back of your left thigh, or maybe you walk those fingertips down your left calf. Inhale. And then exhale, cartwheel your hands down to frame your front foot. Send your hips back, lengthen through your right leg for half splits. Flex your right toes towards your face. And then we'll start to floss here with a low lunge to half splits. So as you inhale, bend your right knee, sink into your hips. As you exhale, lengthen your right leg, half splits. Again, low lunge. Exhale, half splits. Inhale, bend into your knee. Exhale, lengthen. Inhale, rebend that right knee. Bring your right hand to the inside of your right foot for a lizard lunge, and then start circling your hips one way and then the other. Take them a few times in each direction. And then find stillness. Tuck your left toes, lift your left knee. Start to shift your weight forward and back, just getting light in your left toes until you can step that left foot forward to the outside of your left hand and sink your hips for Malasana, yogi squat. So hands come to heart center. Press your elbows into your knees into your elbows. Pull your heart forward. Inhale. And then exhale, bring your hands to the earth, lengthen through your legs, forward fold. Walk your feet back into hip distance. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, slowly rise up to stand. Sweep your arms up overhead, and then bring your hands through heart center. Inhale, circle sweep your arms up overhead. Exhale, cactus your arms, lift your heart towards the ceiling. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to a high plank. You can take a knees, chest, chin for your flow. Otherwise, maybe lower halfway for chaturanga. And then inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, we'll meet in downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep your left leg high this time, and then bend your knee, yawn your hip open. Take some movement. And then re-lengthen that leg behind you, and exhale, step it forward in between your hands. Lower your right knee to the earth, and inhale, rise up and reach up for your low lunge. Inhale. And exhale, twist. Your right arm reaches forward, your left arm reaches back. Maybe take your gaze over your left hand. And on your next inhale, exalt. Your right palm sweeps to the back. Your left hand goes wherever it lands, your low back, your right thigh, or your right calf. Breathe in. And then exhale, cartwheel your hands to frame your front foot. And move into your half split. Send your hips back, lengthen through your left leg. And we'll floss. So as you inhale, bend into that left knee, sink your hips forward. As you exhale, send your hips back, half splits. Inhale, bend. Exhale, lengthen. Inhale, rebend. Exhale, lengthen, half splits. Inhale, rebend, and you'll bring your left hand to the inside of your left foot this time for your lizard lunge. And then start taking your hips in circles. Switch up the direction. And then pause, tuck your right toes, lift your right knee, start to shift back and forth, and then step that right foot forward, sink your hips, yogi squat. Maybe notice if your hips can sink a little bit lower, or you can pull your heart forward a little bit more. And then forward fold, walk your feet back into hip width distance. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to stand. Arms go up overhead, and then hands come to heart center. Again, inhale, reach up. Exhale, cactus your arms. Take a back bend. Inhale again, reach up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands. Move through your flow. You can take knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga as you lower. Find your back bend, and then find downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg behind you. Exhale, bring your knee to your right elbow. Inhale, send it back. Exhale, knee to nose, and then step that right foot forward. Keep your back knee lifted. Inhale, high crescent lunge. Square your hips here. Maybe pull your left hip forward and your right hip back. Keeping a soft bend in that left knee. It'll help you adjust your hips to find what feels good. Breathe in. And then exhale, twist. Same as before, your right arm reaches back, left arm reaches forward. But this time, your left knee is lifted. That leg is super engaged. Try to send the back of your left knee towards the ceiling. And as you inhale, exalt. Sweep your left palm back. Your right hand finds the back of your left thigh. Inhale. Exhale, we'll find a warrior two facing the other side of our mat. So keeping a deep bend in your front knee, that left heel is now grounded. Both legs are super strong. Inhale, flip that front palm and reverse your warrior. So you've still got a deep bend in that front knee, but you're reaching up and back. Inhale. Exhale, cartwheel your hands to frame your front foot. Step back to a high plank and move through your flow. Inhale for your back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg goes high. Exhale, left knee to left elbow. Inhale to send it back. Exhale, knee to nose, and then step the foot forward. Inhale, high crescent lunge. Again, find your strong foundation here. You're high on the ball of that back foot. Your right heel is stacked over your right toes. Tuck your tailbone towards the earth. Notice what that does in your right hip flexor. And then take your twist. Fire up that back leg. Maybe take your gaze over your left hand. And then inhale, exalt. Sweep your right palm back. Left hand finds the back of your right thigh. Can you sink into that left knee a little more? Breathe in. And then exhale, warrior two. Spin your right heel down. Find your nice wide stance. Pull your left knee to the left. Make sure it's tracking over your middle toes rather than collapsing in over your big toe. And then inhale, reverse your warrior. Your left palm sweeps back. Your gaze can be wherever feels good for your neck. And cartwheel your hands to the earth. Step back to a plank. Move through a flow. You're welcome to skip it and go straight to down dog. In your down dog, take a big breath in through your nose. Sigh it out through your mouth. Take one more, just like that. All right, and we'll move along. Inhale, sweep your right leg high behind you. Exhale, right knee to left elbow, and then kick that foot out for a fallen triangle. So your left heel spins down. You're pressing the floor away with your right hand. Send your hips as high as you can. Take a breath in. And then exhale. Keep your legs as they are, just lower to your seat. Bring your left hand behind your left hip, bend into your right knee, and then press yourself up to a wild thing. So you're on the ball of your right foot here. Your hips and your chest are facing the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale, lower back to your seat. Spin to face the front of your mat and bring your right knee into your chest. Step it forward in between your hands and then step your left foot in for pyramid. So your front leg extends. Pull your belly towards your right thigh and just let your head hang. Keep a soft bend in that right knee. So while the leg is straight, it is not locked. And again, think about squaring your hips. See if you can pull that right hip back, left hip forward. And then inhale, look forward, walk your hands forward, bend into your right knee, kick your left leg high, standing splits. And then you can walk your hands back towards your right foot to challenge your balance if you like. That lifted leg is so strong, either point or flex through the toes. Inhale. Exhale, bring your left knee to the back of your right calf. Inhale, kick it back up to the ceiling. Exhale, knee to calf. Inhale, kick it high. Exhale again, knee to calf. Both knees bend. Inhale, kick it high. And then exhale, release your left leg behind your right. Your left pinky toe meets your right pinky toe. So you're in a cross leg forward fold here. You're just going to walk your hands over to the right. Feel a nice stretch in that left IT band. Then you're just going to walk your hands back to center. Find your prop, stick it under your right hand. Shift your weight to your right leg as you lift your left leg in line with your hip and then open your hips for half moon. Left hip stacks on top of right. Flex through your left toes. Keep a soft bend in your right knee. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose. Sweep your arms forward. Sink your hips back. Send more weight into your heels. Tuck your tailbone under. Inhale. Exhale, reach down for the front of your left shin. Interlace your hands around that shin. And then rise to stand, bringing your left knee with you. Single leg mountain. Keep your left hand on your left knee. Bring your right hand to your right hip. You can stay exactly like this, or maybe you take hand to big toe and your left peace fingers find your left big toe and you extend that leg forward. If you have the big toe, release and rebend that knee. Bring your right hand to the outside of your knee and send your left arm behind you for a twist. You can stay just like that, or again, you can extend the leg by reaching for the outer blade edge of the foot. You can challenge your balance by taking your gaze over your left hand. Embrace the wobbles. Take your last breath in. Come back to a single leg mountain and then release your left foot to the earth. Give your legs a shake. Inhale, circle sweep your arms overhead and then exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to a plank and move through your flow or go straight to downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep your left leg high. Exhale, knee to right elbow and then kick your foot out. Reach your right arm up, fall in triangle. Keep engaging your glutes to send your hips higher. Inhale. And then exhale, slowly lower to your seat. Bring your right hand behind you on the right side. Bend your left knee. Press yourself up to a wild thing. Come to the ball of your left foot. And then see if you can send your hips a little higher. Inhale. Exhale, lower to your seat. Keep your left knee bent as you spin to face the front of your mat. Come to the ball of your right foot and then step your left foot forward. Right foot steps in, left leg lengthens for your pyramid. Inhale to lengthen your spine. Exhale to fold over your left thigh. So both feet are planted here. Make sure your feet are on what would seem like railroad tracks rather than on a tightrope. So you want a little bit of space in between if they were side by side. Inhale, look forward, walk your hands forward, bend your left knee, kick your right leg high, standing splits. Let your head hang. You can walk your hands back towards your left foot to challenge your balance. That right leg is super strong. Engage that glute. Inhale. Exhale, bring your right knee to the back of your left calf. Bend into your left knee. Inhale, kick it back. Exhale, knee to calf. Inhale, standing splits. Exhale, knee to calf. Inhale, standing splits. And then exhale, cross your right leg behind your left. Pinky toes find each other. And then walk your hands over to the left for your cross-legged forward fold. Start to walk your hands back to center. Find your prop, stick it under your left hand. Start to shift your weight to your left foot and lift your right leg in line with your hip for half moon. Stack your right hip on top of your left. You might fall out like I did. That's all right. You can get right back in. Keep flexing your right toes towards your face. It's like you want to kick a hole in whatever wall is behind your right foot. Take a breath in and then forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose. Second set. Can you sink your hips a little lower? Can you relax your shoulders away from your ears? Can you send more weight into your heels? Again, reach for the front of your right shin. Start to shift your weight to your left leg and rise to stand, bringing your right knee with you. Find your balance. Keep flexing your right toes towards your knee. Bring your left hand to your left hip, and you can stay right here, or maybe you take hand to big toe on this side and extend your right leg forward. Keep pulling your right arm back into your right shoulder socket so your spine is nice and tall. Release the big toe if you have it, and then bring your left hand to your right knee and your right arm reaches behind you. For your twist, you can stay right here with your hand on your knee or take dancing Shiva. Your left hand finds the outer blade edge of your right foot and your right leg extends forward. Take your gaze over your right hand to challenge your balance. Release your foot. Inhale to turn forward, single leg mountain. Exhale, release your right foot to the earth. And then inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back. Move through a flow if you like. Or you can head straight to downward facing dog. From down dog, just go ahead and relax your knees to the earth. Find a child's pose. Let your hips sink back towards your heels. Let your forehead rest on the earth. Focus on elongating your exhales. Try to get your breath as slow and steady as you can. And then inhale to look forward. You're just going to walk your hands back towards your knees and bring your knees into hip width distance. Tuck your toes and then just sink your hips back towards your heels. You can keep your hands on the earth. That might be plenty here for this toe stretch. Otherwise, walk your hands back towards you and rise up, stacking your shoulders over your hips, bringing your hands to heart center. We're stretching the feet here, which is not a part of the body that we stretch that often. So it may feel a little uncomfortable. Can you breathe through it? Deep breath in. Slow breath out through your nose. You're almost there. And go ahead and release your hands to the earth. Untuck your toes. Just tap the tops of your feet to the earth a few times to release. And then leave your toes untucked. Walk your hands back towards your knees. Rise back up, stacking your shoulders over your hips. We'll take a camel pose here. Bring your hands to your low back. Squeeze your elbows in towards each other. And then inhale, send your hips forward and lift your heart space towards the ceiling. You might stay right there. Maybe you release your hands to your heels. You can also tuck your toes here to bring the heels closer to you. Keep sending your hips forward and lifting from the back of your heart space to bring your chest closer to the ceiling. To come out, bring one hand to your sacrum and then the other. Rise up and then sink your hips back towards your heels. We'll take a child's pose to reset. So bring your legs together on this one and let your hands rest by your feet. Let your shoulders round forward. Breathe into your back body. Try to make every breath slower than the last. And then we'll come out of our child's pose. Bring your hands forward, rise up, walk your hands forward, spin your feet out to the side. Just come to a seat and bring your legs out in front of you. You can have a bend in your knees. Just sit up nice and tall and ground into your sit bones. Inhale to reach both arms up overhead and exhale to fold forward. So for this first little bit here, we're going for a long spine. So think about pulling your belly towards your thighs and your heart towards your toes. You can let your head hang. And then from here, you can release your grip on your feet or your legs and just let your spine round. So the backs of your hands can be on the earth. Just let gravity do the work. And then inhale to walk your hands back in towards you. Sit up tall, bend your knees, bring your feet onto the earth. Bring your hands behind your thighs. Sit up nice and tall. We're heading into Navasana, boat pose. So you'll lift your shins parallel to the earth. Then maybe you reach your arms forward. Keep pulling your heart forward towards your knees. From boat pose, we're going to lower to the earth for the count of 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release everything to your mat. Bend your knees, walk your feet in towards you, bring them as wide as your mat, and just take some windshield wipers here. So knock one knee in towards center and then the other. Then go ahead and bring both knees into your chest. Give yourself a squeeze, rock side to side, and then we'll head to a happy baby. So just find whatever grip you can on your legs with your hands. Send the soles of your feet to the ceiling. Pull your tailbone towards the earth, and maybe add some movement. Release your feet. Bring your left foot to the earth and cross your right leg over your left. Thigh on top of thigh. Pull your knees in towards you and then reach for your feet for cow face legs. So if this doesn't feel good, you can always take a reclined pigeon. You just cross your right ankle over your left thigh and then pull your left leg in towards you. Either option works. We're just going for an opening in the outer right hip. Relax your shoulders and your head. And then go ahead and release your left foot to the earth. We'll take a supine twist. So bring your arms to a T and then let your legs just fall over to the left. So you can take any variation of a twist here. If you don't like the twisted roots variation, you can stack one knee on top of the other or send your left leg out long on your mat. Maybe take your gaze over your right shoulder. All right, and we'll come back through center and just go straight to the other side. So release your right foot to the earth, cross your left leg over your right. And then we'll either take reclined cow face here by stacking knee on top of knee and then pulling your feet towards you. Or you can take a reclined pigeon and just have your left ankle crossed over your right thigh and pull your right thigh towards you. Come back to your breath, slow and steady. And then release that right foot back to the earth. We'll take our twist. Bring your arms to a T. And then let your knees fall over to the right. Again, take whatever variation of a twist feels good for you right now. Maybe take your gaze over your left shoulder. And we'll come back to center, uncross the legs. Go ahead and bring your knees into your chest for one last big final squeeze. Pull your forehead in towards your knees. And then find your Shavasana, your final resting pose. You can take up space here. Maybe grab a blanket if it helps to get nice and cozy. Try to stay in stillness once you've found your comfortable position, just for a few minutes, especially if it feels difficult. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to think about anything. And it might be the only minute of your day where that is true. So embrace it and enjoy. And you can stay here if it feels good. Otherwise, you can start to awaken your body with some deep breaths. Then add some gentle movements, maybe in your fingers and toes. Gradually starting to make those movements a little bit bigger, circling through your wrists and ankles, rocking your head side to side, taking a big full body stretch, and then bending through your knees, rolling over to your favorite side. When you're ready, gently pressing yourself up to a seat. And before you head off to the rest of your day, just give yourself a moment to really acknowledge yourself and give yourself some gratitude for committing to this time just for you. Have an amazing day ahead.